After already playing Street Fighter 6 for over a couple of dozen hours, here are my first impressions. Now, I'm just gonna be real with you guys. I'm not gonna be using big, long words like IGN might do or make it overcomplicated. I'm gonna keep it real and tell you how it is.
Take it one step at a time.
First, I just want to say that if you're a fighting game fan, even a little bit, if you played them for just like an hour and you like the idea of playing a fighting game, or you're a fighting game vet, you've been playing for decades or years or whatever, I will tell you right now, you are going to love Street Fighter 6. From the first time playing a fighting game beginner all the way to I've been playing since I was born, you're gonna love it. Not just as a fighting game, but as a game alone, the graphics in Street Fighter 6 are awesome. Now, I know that graphics don't actually make the game that much better. There are honestly amazing games that have crap graphics and vice versa, but the way the Street Fighter looks, the way the new aesthetic, the new appeal that they brought to their new game are just great. The visuals, the sound effects, everything just flows very well together and makes it feel just really good to play. The next thing that I want to know is, for those that don't know, 85% of fighting game players are typically casual or lower, meaning they're beginners all the way to just casual players. And Street Fighter 6 recognized this and made their new installment super beginner friendly. And let me clarify, that is not a bad thing at all, because it's still vet friendly. Like, you could be a lifetime fan of Street Fighter, go into this new installment and still have a blast, still have your Street Fighter. But if you're like me and you've only played a handful of hours in the previous Street Fighter games and you really want to get into this one, this is gonna be your game. The new accessibility options in Street Fighter 6 are, in my opinion, awesome and will definitely bring in a new audience. For an example, the new controller, the new input methods such as modern and dynamic are really helpful for beginners. They really allow a beginner to come in and just get the hang of things. They get the idea of how this character works, how the game works, what combos look like, what they feel like, what kind of moves can be comboed in the other moves or specials. It just helps you dip your toe in the water, so to speak, and I think that's great for all kinds of beginners. And then as a beginner, once you start to feel more comfortable with your modern, control input method, then you can move on up to classic and get the hang of things there just to get better, and it's just up from there. Like, you will literally be taking it one step at a time in this game because the game makes you, they want you to start off with modern or even dynamic, the input methods, and again, get a feel for the character, get a feel for the game, and then slowly, one step at a time, move your way up into classic and becoming more of a vet yourself as time goes on. To put it simply, Street Fighter 6 has just made it easy for new players to come in and have a good time. It's a fighting game, but there are so many modes that make it almost not even a fighting game. They now have what's called extreme battles, where they have implemented kind of a party aesthetic to adding to the fight, so you can add elements to the game such as a bull riding in and gonna hit you, or just kind of party elements that make it the fight more fun and less competitive. So if you want to jump on with a friend and say, hey, we're gonna make the time limit 30 seconds, but we're also gonna add a bull coming in, we're gonna add bombs falling from the sky, we're gonna add health regeneration, and just see what happens, you can do that. They also have many online fighting game modes. They got ranked, they got classic, and of course the big one that we have to talk about is World Tour. World Tour is basically just a whole nother RPG game within Street Fighter 6 itself. You can roam the world, create your own fighter, and that alone is huge. You can create any character that you can even think of. So far, I've already created Mario, I've created Ganondorf, I've created myself, of course. You can walk around this world, the world, with your character. You can shop for them, add, costumes, you can add clothes, you can add hats, you can eat food to boost your stats, you can create your own stat tree, you can go and learn from legendary fighters like Chun-Li and implement their special moves into your created character. Like, honestly, I can see so many people getting Street Fighter 6, not even playing online and just creating their own fighter and just playing World Tour. That's how big I think World Tour is gonna be. Now, when it comes to the new characters in Street Fighter 6 that have been introduced for this new installment, I think it's a hit or miss. I think it's more of a subjective feeling than anything. Like in any new fighting game installment we get, whether it be Mortal Kombat, Tekken, Street Fighter, when they introduce new characters in the community, it's kind of always a hit or miss. Like, oh, I love this new character, I hate this new character, or why did they do this? And for Street Fighter 6, I don't think it's that much different. I personally enjoy and really like the new characters that they've introduced, but I could see why somebody might be like, oh, why did they bring back this character from Street Fighter 2 or like whatever. So even though this whole thing is opinion based, I think that aspect of the game is even more opinion based. Now, for all you beginners or even casual players out there that are thinking about getting Street Fighter 6, let me say that Street Fighter 6 is still Street Fighter, and that's not a bad thing at all. But it has to be said that if you have never been a Street Fighter fan or a player because of the way the mechanics worked, the mechanics are still like kind of like the way the game works is still relative and still similar in this new installment. It's better in my opinion as a kind of a Mortal Kombat fan or a Guilty Gear fan. I was never a fan personally of how like Street Fighter 6 did their links or their combo system. I will tell you that it's still that way to a point, but it is better. Like, to put it simply, combos are a little bit easier to pull off, same with special moves. And now they've added super arts, which I think are great. They've added new mechanics like the drive impact and the drive parry. The whole drive bar system is awesome. So though the links and the combo system is still kind of how it has been prior, they have revamped it and made it better. So if you've played Street Fighter before and you're like, I cannot do this game is not for me, the mechanics, the flow of the combos is not for me, I see where you're coming from, and trust me, I understand, I get it, but I will tell you, try it, and I think you will learn to love it. I think you'll get the hang of it a lot faster than prior games, just with the way they've done it. Again, I think just give it a couple hours, you know, in practice mode or just playing online or having fun creating your own character, and I think you'll get it. And I think you really come to enjoy it as well, like I have. All right, here comes the verdict. Overall, I really enjoy Street Fighter 6. Street Fighter 6 is going to be the very first Street Fighter that I get really into because of all the things they've introduced in the new installment, such as the new modes like World Tour, the new mechanics that make the fighting itself more fun and engaging. I'm not necessarily a beginner myself, but I do enjoy that they've made the game a bit more beginner friendly. I'm not going to give it a score, but I will say this: I'm definitely getting the game. I'm definitely going to be putting hundreds of hours into the game, and I think if you enjoy fighting games even a smidge, that you would really enjoy this new entry for Street Fighter. Let me know down below if you played the Street Fighter 6 demo or the Street Fighter 6 beta. What are your thoughts on it so far? Let me know down below. For more fighting game content like this, make sure to subscribe here for more. We have new videos Monday and Friday, and we stream at least twice a week. Take it one step at a time, my dudes, and I will see you in the next one.